Stream, and today I am bringing you episode 19 of MyTeam Career mode, and we are at USA. If you haven't watched the previous video, I do recommend watching it. Yeah, I think we've just got a bit of a reality check of where we are in terms of how the car is, how the car's performing. Also, we have some unexpected regulation changes, which I didn't plan on, but oh well, that just happens. And spoiler alert, we managed to get into the top 5 after holding like a train of 10 cars it was or something. So yeah, that's that. In terms of this weekend, obviously got an invitation event which I would do because can do the cash. Let's do title sponsor venue, boost our driver acclaim. Not redeveloping our second driver because I am planning on dropping Nick de Vries at the end of the season in favour of Checo Perez. Because what's his value at the moment? His value is at 10.5 mil, and we're currently at 5.8 mil, so we should be able to get him. So let's say let's budget for 11 mil, worst case scenario. Anyways, yeah, so yeah, it's just going to this weekend. I've been thinking about what we could invest in. Obviously, we haven't got enough RD points to do anything, but we need to get these upgrades checked. Yeah, got the majors and a few minor upgrades, so we should have all these done before end of the season, but it's going to be cutting it close. More focus on the majors and the chassis first. Going into the durability, mainly it's the major gearbox, and then I'll go for the minors after. But I'm not too worried about that, as long as we can keep the major gearbox, that's my worry, and the rest I can just claim back later. Obviously, we've got a major front wing coming in our way so very soon. That'll be here for Brazil, I think, or yeah, Brazil. As we look at the performance index, we are just above Haas and just below, just above Alfa Romeo, sorry. But you can see it's very close, even up to Ferrari, it's very close. It's about 60 or 70 performance points separating us. Meanwhile, Red Bull and Racing Point are claiming up towards the Mercedes, which is not surprised because of how Checo Perez was at last race where he got his first win. Surprise, surprise. Anyways, let's advance on to this weekend.
Okay, we've had the new parts come through from
on the invitation event, which I will do. Here we are for a pursuit event, invitation event, and we're in the Renault R26, the famous 2006 car driven by Fernando Alonso. We're at Sochi, and let's quickly get this done, get a nice bit of claim, nice bit of COTA for the piggy bank. Oh, I hear that engine. Okay, oh, it's messed up there. Let's restart that. Let's work it into lean. Just so that we've got a bit of traction. that. But we'll be able to take Michalski. Let's do a late lunch. Okay, we're 9.3 seconds behind the leader, so yeah, should be able to. Actually, by about 5 seconds of that. How long we're stuck behind this car? Hopefully not for long. Close by 5.5 seconds. So yeah, we should be able to catch ATA or ATL. Oh, I hate that part where you get stuck there. And 40 seconds by you, let's chase down ATL. Let's get 2 seconds, okay. There he is. We're taking the leader. Close on the braking, I think. Just hit point. Been now on point. Yes, there we are. Easily done. Passed. Yep, nice 150k and 1,000 acclaim. Okay, so that's an invitation event done. As we run down, get some nice weekly
Our
resources.
new parts have been completed without issue. They'll be on the car ready for the next race weekend.
And actually, at this point, as I was skipping, I think let's try to upgrade one of the facilities. Just been looking at what we can do. Considering we make $2 million a weekend, With 4 races to go, that'd be 2, 4, 6, 8. So we should have enough money to buy Perez if we upgrade one of our facilities. And I was thinking, let's do the chassis. And I was thinking either quality control, build time. But you know what? Let's go for build time. Not build time, quality control. So I'm not too worried about the time frame. I definitely need 3 simultaneous upgrades at the moment, so yeah, that's that. Apart from that, let's head into the weekend. Heading into this weekend, I did make the error of having the medium tires set for qualifying, which I didn't want. But anyways, we've got the medium tire. I don't think we'll be able to get into Q3 on it, so what I did was I went out, as you can see on the medium tires. First lap time was just appalling, it was. As you can see, a 33.444. I thought, let's see what we can do, see if we can improve, because as you can see, we're approaching the end of the second lap. We're dropped down to P14. And we've lost a bit of time in the first sector because, like Suzuka with the SS, the little S section here, car just doesn't handle great. As you see, as we approach that turn, try to gain as much time as we can. We're up by 4 attempts, but that's not enough to get us through into Q2 on the medium tires. So what I did was come back out again on a set of soft tires and just absolutely try to blitz it, because we're currently in P20. We need to get into Q2 at least. That's our minimum goal of the season, is getting to Q2, because the car where it is, I think even at 100 AI difficulty, we still should be able to get into Q2 without much of a problem. I see we are 9 tenths up already as we're approaching halfway through the lap. Down the back straight, DRS wide open. Yes, I know, Jeff, don't worry. I see, through this latter half of the section, this car handles like a dream, especially through the middle sector. It's, yeah, just all weekend, the car just handles perfectly through the middle sector. Last sector is okay for us. I do compromise a little bit through this last sector to save the tyres, as we went a bit wide there. As we approach the last turn, full throttle is going to be an improvement, but where will we go? That's a 31.3, I think, and that's P6 for us. So a very very good position. I see approach the end of Q1. For some reason, I know the game does this sometimes with the coding, but Hampton absolutely blitzed its Q1 time, but I think that's down to the coding in the game when you fast forward it like I did. But anyways, as we head into Q2 now, once again on a set of soft tyres, see if we can get through to Q3 on one set of tyres. It's going to be a big ask, but at least that leaves us with at least one set to use in qualifying. Because in the race, I didn't know whether or not to go with a soft medium, or soft hards, or even a soft medium. Now, it's possible around here, but as you can see, as we're approaching end of sector 1, once again down the back straight, DRS wide open. Middle sector was absolutely blitzed. We set a purple in that middle sector, which is our strongest sector. Anyways, approaching the last few turns. For this part, the car does handle well. I have struggled with the penultimate corner, or second to last corner, sorry. Got a bit sketchy on the exit, and that's going to be a 31.0, and that should make us comfortably into Q3, and it does. We've dropped down to P7. Shockingly, Perez and the race winner last week, yeah, he's got knocked out, but that racing point is very strong. That's now we head into Q3. I did try set that time on set scrub set of tyres that I used in Q1, the soft tyres. As expected, didn't perform well. 31.5. We're at least half a second off where we should be. But anyway, as we approach the last lap, I mistimed it. So where you can see the cars in front of me, they have just completed their qualifying lap. So now they're going to slow down, and we are going to be stuck in traffic, which is not what I wanted. But anyways, we are up already in the first sector, but I'm just worrying, will we catch the Mercedes and the Racer Point and the Renault? Will they move out of the way? You just don't know. In real life, they would just slow down, move out of the way, let you pass, and that's it. But it's going to be a big ask for us, and we are safely into Q3 anyway, so to be honest, I could have not into Q3, could have had one about it and void, ignore me. Anyways, as we head down the main straight, we're on the tail of Lewis Hamilton, but thankfully, as you can see, all of a sudden he stopped like a stone. But that slight distraction did cost me a tenth or two, especially with these cars ahead and Stroll. And I think that's Ricardo ahead of us, I'm not too sure. Anyways, as we're approaching the last two turns, we're getting very close, but thankfully they have dived into the pit lane, so that's made us very clear for the last turn. That's going to be a 30.7 for us, and that's going to be P5. Wow, that is very surprising, considering that AI is at 100%.
Remind ourselves of our top three: Bottas, Hamilton, and Alexander Albon. With qualifying complete, all that remains is the main event. We'll be live and uninterrupted for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so make sure you join us then.
Once again, Mercedes and Red Bull dominating qualifying as they do. Weirdly, Albon actually out-qualified for Verstappen. Didn't go the likes of and Stroll didn't perform as too well, but that pink Mercedes do perform very well in the race, so don't count them out. As you can see, we've beaten our rival in the qualifying, and let's head into the race and see what we can do from.
Welcome once again then to the United States Grand Prix here in the magnificent city of Austin. It was here in 2018 that Kimi Raikkonen delighted the world by winning for the first time in 114 races. There's always a record to be broken, so what, I wonder, is in store for us today? We have 10 turns to the left and 10 to the right here at the fantastic Circuit of the Americas. Overtaking opportunities into turn 1 and 12 at this anti-clockwise 3.6 mile track. And we should see average lap speeds of around 126 miles per hour. Anthony Davidson also joins me in the commentary box today. I think we should begin by discussing Daniel Kvyat. There's a new gearbox in the back of that car, which means a grid penalty, and hopefully some excitement as they make their way through the field.
Well, at the end of the day, it's always better to take some pain now than parking it up halfway through the Grand Prix. Let's just hope they can put that new gearbox to good use and get the results they're looking for.
With the race minutes away from starting, here's what today's grid rundown looks like. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Davies, Leclerc, Sebastian Vettel, and Stroll, Perez, Sainz, Norris, and Alexander Albon. Kvyat, Verstappen, they'll be starting further back after an earlier grid penalty. Antonio Giovinazzi and Grosjean, Magnussen, Russell, Daniel Ricciardo, and Pierre Gasly, Ocon, Raikkonen, De Vries, and Nicholas Latifi. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
The boss wants another points finish this weekend. Let's give it everything.
So yeah, first of all, shockingly, I think it's like 9 or 10 drivers on the grid has got some form of a grid penalty. Shocking, but we're going to start in P3. We're going to plan on doing a one stopper, start on the softs, and then go on to the mediums, as we do have a good tyre here. Anyways, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights, and it's lights out for the US Grand Prix, and away we go. We get a good start. We've overtook Hamilton. Bottas has covered off Hamilton as we head into turn 1. We're going wide here, taking the outside line. I think Bottas and Hamilton had a bit of a tap together. Sorry, I didn't get that on the replay footage, but yeah, seems like. Oh, yeah, see, we've already had our first track warnings penalty because we just at the start of this race, the car felt appalling. Just felt an absolute shocker, it did. But anyways, that's now we heading into the back straight now. We've got Lewis Hamilton, he's going to make a move on the inside, but we covered him off. The ERS is not open yet, so we've got ERS and Rich Mix to use. Anyways, now as we're approaching lap 2, see just through the S is how slow we are, and that's inviting Hamilton. He's going to make a move on the outside. No, he's going to look on the inside, I think. But no, for now he stays. But now he's trying to climb back. We gave him plenty of room, more than enough room. And as you can see, Hamilton's overtook us. But what we're going to do, we're going to overtake on the outside into the braking zone. Couldn't make it quite sick that time, but we're going to have the inside line here. Now we've just managed to make it work. Bottas, meanwhile, he's stormed off ahead. He's got a 2.7 second gap to us, and I think that's going to only increase unless Mercedes bottle it in this race. It's a Mercedes 1-2, and perhaps it's going to be one of the racing points on the podium as well, because this weekend the racing point drivers look so strong, especially at Japan, where that Stroll making a one-stop work. Perez getting his first win, so either of them could potentially get on the podium or even win this race. Anyways, as we're focused back on the racing, gap to Hamilton is still there, and next lap Hamilton's going to make an inside move just before heading to the back straight. He's going to have DRS, but thankfully we have got a powerful engine. However, what I forgot to show you at the start of the video is actually everyone has made upgrades. So we're now 8th. Yeah, we've got the not 8th, 7th or 8th most powerful engine, but still, even though it says on the performance index, on the track we're still outpulling most people, most drivers, apart from like Mercedes, who I think have got the top engine. But now back onto the race, we went a bit wide, and as you can see, we did have a little tap with Hamilton, but as you can see on the replay, I did nothing wrong. I gave him plenty of room, I came back a little bit, still gave him a car's width, and that's his fault. So a potential podium for Hamilton has gone. And when I did look in the race directory, yeah, when I was looking at the race directory, Hamilton got the warning for a collision with me, not me. So the stewards at this point deciding Hamilton was at fault for that. He's back down the grid, but now we've got a Ferrari train, a Racing Point train behind us. But thankfully for the S's here, like we did at Suzuka, we're nice and wide, so we'll use that to our advantage. And down the back straight, as you can see, us Charles make his inside move. Can't quite make it this time, but touch of oversteer. We've lost time, but that's forced everyone in that train to brake. So he was able to pull away a little bit, but as soon as we start pulling away, they're going to keep on fighting back. So this fight here is not over, not by a long shot. I can see this being an intense battle for what is next P2, depending on what tire strategy people's doing. Some may even do it to stop. But as you can see, there's double wave yellows ahead. I was wondering what that was, because you can see Bottas is still ahead and increasing, but now we're slowly closing in on him, and Bottas is out of this race. Bottas is out, and looks like it's a mechanical failure.
Slow down. Maintain positive delta. Check your MFD for a new strategy option.
So yeah, as we come into the pits, I'm thinking, let's pit for the hard tyres and go to the end of the race, because you see how good we are at defending the car around this track. Bit of a slow pit stop by us, but I think we're really going to be net P1. I see like Perez making a one stopper, or by the looks of it at least, and I think that Stroll was, but crucially so was Hamilton, so don't count Lewis out yet. But anyways, now we're headed into the restart. I see our tyres are stone cold, but for some reason I tried to move on the exit, which didn't quite work. As you can see, the Ferrari's very catching us slowly, heading to turn 1. Tyres, yeah, cold as hell, but you can see the contact between us, and that was pretty much it for that. Then as we approached the end of the lap after the restart, we had a comfortable gap to Perez, and I'm thinking if Perez could be like a shotgun for us, so like likes off Leclerc, Norris and the Red Bull cars, then we can try to pull ahead and go from there. But as you can see, that didn't quite work. Perez is now bringing everyone to the chase, and this has been what it's like for the whole race. If it's Perez, it's Leclerc, or it's Hamilton, there's been a constant DRS train. But because of that dirty air effect, remember, these cars are struggling to overtake me, so I've got that to my advantage. As now we head into the back straight, as we are past halfway distance now, and some people will be starting to make their pit stops soon. For the 2 stoppers who stopped onto the soft tyres, but as you can see, one of the racing points is catching. Big defense move by us, but Racing Point still overtakes on the outside. We defend hard on the inside, and back around now. We've got the outside line, and as you can see, we made it stick. A little mistake there by the Racing Point, and invited Red Bull in. We went wide there, and I thought Albon was going to overtake us, but thankfully he had to pit, so that's why I decided to go onto the hard tyres, because we can defend hard. This car at this stage is not good at attacking, but now as we progress to the end of lap 17, the start of lap 18, once again there's an okay getaway on the exit, but that Racing Point and the rest of the field is catching us. Both Racing Points now. As you can see, that was a massive tap by us. Sorry if you didn't see that in the video, but yeah, there was a massive touch of oversteer by us on the exit for some reason. We clipped Perez, but there was no damage to me or him, so, or no visible damage, so far so good. But now the race is starting to heat up, because you've got the Racing Points in the podium spot. You've got Verstappen, and then you got Hamilton. And remember, all 5 of us pitted for the hard tyres at that safety car on lap 8 or 9, I think it was. So by the looks of it, that one stopper strategy actually made it work. Yes, partly because of me defending over aggressively might have helped. But anyways, now as we're approaching the end of lap 21, lap 22 with 7 laps to go. To be honest, at this point I didn't think we was going to win this race, but as you can see, lap 23 now, the fight ain't over. You've got the Racing Points closing, but they can't close as far as they needed to overtake me. For some reason, with our power unit, we've got the acceleration, but when it comes to the top end speed, that Mercedes power unit and the likeness of the Red Bull chassis is giving them the advantage. But again, we've got that dirty air effect to work to our advantage. As now we're approaching the end of lap 25, lap 26, and at this point, for some reason, I got into the zone and I just basically tried to nail every corner. Plus as well, Perez was slowing down a bit, I think, holding up, not the likes of Lance Stroll, but definitely holding up Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton. But even whilst in the zone, you can see of how much I am struggling around here. But anyways, we're approaching the last 2 turns. We've got a 5-second gap to Perez, and last turn now, can we make it stick? Don't bin it on the last turn. And it's going to be win number 3 for Extreme Motorsport.
Great job. You've done everything we wanted today.
What a drive. Driver of the day, Esteban Ocon, not surprising there. Very good drive these last few races that driver has done.
They take the checkered flag here in Austin after what has been another fabulous Grand Prix. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
I feel like consistency was probably the key today. There's being quick, and then there's being quick lap after lap after lap. If you can do that, you can capitalise on other people's errors without making many of your own. And that's an approach that can push you a long way up the field.
Here comes your top 3 making their way down to the podium for what can only be described as a fantastic day for Formula 1.
I see it's another good podium for us, but as well it's a double podium for Racing Point, so definitely Racing Point are catching up now to the top of the field, but it's going to be a foregone conclusion, I think, for Mercedes now, because coming into this race they had like a near a 200-point gap in the Constructors' Championship, so but still, what a drive by the Racing Point cars.
Let's see what effect this result has had on the drivers' standings. Lewis Hamilton takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship after an excellent result. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
Well, you can't fault anything that Sergio Perez did out on the track today. He drove flawlessly, making him an easy pick.
The Constructors' Championship may be a foregone conclusion at the moment, but regardless, let's look at the standings. It's another clear win for Mercedes as they managed to secure the Constructors' title. An incredible performance for the whole team. Meanwhile, good work from Racing Point this weekend, who pushed themselves further up the order. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula 1 action. I can't wait to see what's next.
So yeah, as you can see, we've jumped both McLaren and Renault to get P5 in the Constructors' Championship, so that's a good move by us. Racing Point extending their gap, possibly even catching up to the likes of Red Bull. You never know. So as you can Actually, it's good results by us. We're beating our rival. Our team acclaim hopefully should be acclaim level 15 by the end of the season. Our driver acclaim is nearly level 12, so that's a good thing. And we've got $1.14 million coming in as well from meeting all of our sponsor goals. And we did have a bit of damage, so about 55k, but now that brings us to, I think it was 5.67 mil, something like that. But anyways, I hope you enjoy what you see. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more weekly F1 content. This is me, NXGN of Extreme, and I'll catch you all very soon.